welcome to Gupshup at ClearTrust. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Kabir. Pleasure is mine.
Yes. Let's start by a small, quick introduction of yours. What do you do at Itilite and what's your role?
Sure. So I carry about 10 years of experience in the marketing domain.
Okay.
I've seen both the B2C and B2B kind of worlds.
Okay.
I started my career with companies like Flipkart, Paytm, where I was building their digital marketing arms at a category level, and then moved on to the larger scene in the form of B2B.
Okay.
Currently, I'm working in the capacity of head of marketing for Itilite.
Yeah.
I lead a team of digital as well as offline marketeers. There are about 7 members directly reporting into me.
Okay.
And it has been a good ride.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's great. Tell us a bit more about what's your Itilite do and what segment they are into.
Sure. So we are a corporate travel and expense platform. We are building horizontal suite of services which are catering to the travel expense and the corporate card needs of a corporate traveler. The biggest dissimilarity between the corporate traveler and the retail traveler is the experience.
Yeah.
Across different parts of the value chain.
Yeah.
From the time the person books till the time he kind of submits his invoices to his organization to get his reimbursements, if at all there is one. There is a lot of outlay.
Yeah.
That's something which you are trying to kind of make near close to retail travel.
Okay.
Or a customer who's on his vacation or something. You won't believe if I say this, right? There are several mid-market and towards enterprise startups in the modern world, even today, which are asking their corporate traveler to have umpteen number of apps, each for one use case. Why would the person even have the motivation to travel?
True, that's there. That happens a lot. Tell us more about how this organization feel like there is a need in this space, like corporate travel. Everyone needs to have that corporate travel experience.
Listen, unless it pinches the finance organization, it doesn't kind of pinches any other part of the organization.
True.
Right?
Well said.
The biggest problem for the finance organization today is reconciliation, is visibility of data, is getting the reports at an individual level, which is missing, which many apps don't provide. Tell me one app which can provide reconciliation at an individual level. No.
Yeah.
And that's the big opportunity. Other than that, there are a lot of other opportunities, but this is the icing on the cake.
Oh yeah. So how are you bridging that gap?
We are using a combination of artificial intelligence as well as the huge amount of information that we have in terms of we managing these many number of trips and these many number of hotel bookings.
Yeah.
To try and curate the information which different parts of the organization need. What reports are needed for the finance org? What reports are needed for the department which is traveling? What report are needed for the department head?
Yeah.
Not only that, cost saving is a very important parameter today in travel, right? Post-COVID, the travel costs have increased by about 25% minimum, right?
Okay.
Blended. How do you make sure that you cut corners? For that you need data.
True.
For that you need signals.
Okay.
Right? So all these are things which we are kind of venturing into, and it has been a joyous ride for us.
Oh, that's great.
We have a product which keeps monitoring the price drops of flights and quickly cancels the previous flight booking and books another one for you
for the cheap
at
price.
A cheaper cost.
Oh wow! That's how you cut into the eyes of CFOs.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Tell us more about your company. How big is it? Like how long has it been for you in this?
Yeah, it has been about 2 years for me in this organization.
Okay.
The company itself is about 7 years old. So we started as a small idea where we were trying to kind of manage just the travel part of it, and then we ventured into expenses and now into corporate cards. We are trying to deliver experiences across the board, right? So I think
delivering experiences.
Experience is very, very important because in this industry the switching cost is really high.
True.
So people don't switch very often.
Their vendors.
But they switch when the actual corporate traveler is facing the heat, and of course the finance part.
Yeah.
So that's
that way of building the experience or giving the experience to the corporate traveler is somewhat like building a trust with them. That's what comes with your marketing. That's what you're marketing basically, giving the premium and most smoothest experience to a corporate travel where they don't have to hassle for 10 other apps and they have just one app managed. So what's your marketing play in that?
For anybody in the org, Itilite is a all-in-one platform. You can book, you can manage, you can rebook, you can get analytics, you can get guided, you can kind of send reports to different parts of the organization through a single platform.
That's a whole module.
It's a whole module. Okay. And it can be easily customized. There are a few finance orgs which want data at a single click and it has to be simple. There are a few finance orgs who want to play around with the data.
Yeah.
So we have to satisfy, or we are in the process of satisfying.
Okay.
A whole lot of things happen at the back end where we have to kind of, while in the front end it's very simple to look at it,
Yeah.
But at the back end, it's about connecting the different networks together,
Yeah.
connecting the different inventory systems together.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to go into the
Of course,
technical
not
side of
that,
things. It'll
yeah.
make it a little more boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, at
That's
the
it.
back end, a lot of effort goes in.
So tell us a bit more about your marketing efforts. Like, what do you do? How do you think like a product? What's the market for the product like this?
Sure.
What's the market, and how should one approach that?
Sure. As I told you, it's more of attacking the use case.
Yeah.
Of course, corporate travel has been there since the World War days,
Yeah.
right? So it has been evolving at a decade level, and it has been evolving at a much faster pace. So artificial intelligence becomes very, very important.
Okay.
How quickly your process can learn and how quickly your process can evolve becomes more important.
Yeah.
It's a very happy experience. So for me, it's very simple as a marketer. I sell experience to the corporate traveler, and I sell cost saving to the finance org. So that's the way I sell.
Okay, but given like now that you have built a whole complete network of this pipeline where data or inventory management is flowing, so tell me a bit about how this company started. Was it like always like this in-depth kind of a module or a software, or like what I'm thinking like what happens generally is a company start with a small use case and then they develop more features to that. So how was your growth?
Yeah,
like
the very genesis of this idea was both the founders are from the top, or from one among the top 3 consulting firms in the world.
Okay.
So which means literally they are on the road for about 25 to even 30 days in a month, right? But they themselves felt the need for one such tool, right? So being the top 3 consulting company in the world, back then there was no tool which could have assisted them.
Yeah.
That's the very genesis of the idea.
Correct.
Right. So then, as I said, they initially started with a small what you call travel use case, and then they built the MTS suite.
So how was your thing now going about like from like a 2 to 3 use case now catering to CFOs and like the travel segment of the company? So now just tackling from like that small use case now to serving and solving these many use cases. So what's the change in like, do you think like there's any change in the marketing positioning or something like that?
Not really, because it's easy and difficult to sell to the finance org.
Yeah.
They understand cost, and they only understand cost at times.
True.
So it becomes easy for us, but you can take that as a given, right? Today, I know people who are taking demos from us who are interested in all sorts of other things.
Of course.
Despite them being the finance leaders.
Yeah.
Right. So we shouldn't be taking those things for granted. So continuously evolving with technology, continuously evolving with patterns is very, very important. As I was just telling you, we have a product called Price Drop, where within a jiffy I can understand the price movements and I can book you onto a different thing.
Yeah, and cost cutting of the flights.
Yeah. So those kind of things really appeal.
Yeah.
Cost saving is a very simple statement, but a whole lot of things have to go around at the backdrop.
To understand more about your customers, give me a brief idea about like what segment do you cater to in terms of mid-market, enterprise, and small segment, and what's the like I would just say, is the marketing position for all the segments same for you, or does it differ for everyone?
Okay, so we have 2 ways of marketing. One is the persona defined marketing. The second is the broad canvas. So where we use the employee size as a pseudo metric. In the persona driven reach outs or the persona driven targeting, we have identified few industries, and in each and every industry there are the persona are vastly different. Of course, in many of them, decision making would be at the CFO level.
Yeah.
But the influencers and the users would be spread across different parts of the organization. So at a persona level, we have different marketing strategies, we have different marketing tactics.
Yeah.
And so we conquer from the bottom to the top. In the persona level.
Any one item out of your playbook if you'd like to share with us?
Say for example, ads for the people who are going to use it. Maybe webinars, podcasts, etc. for the people who are the influencers in the organization. Maybe trade shows for the CFOs.
Okay.
That could be one model. The other side is a little more broad. You get people from across industries. There, the projection is very simple. It's the top 3 or 4 reasons why we exist.
So now, like while doing this marketing activities, like you mentioned, like be it like running ads or doing the webinar for the CFOs or for the mid-level, you can do other stuff, I'm sure. What's your idea of building that trust to that influencer or that champion in the company so that they approve you? How do you go about in building that trust via your marketing campaigns?
So it's very simple, right? So what you promise, you should deliver.
Yeah.
Simply put.
That's easy said than done.
Easier said than done. So you under promise and over deliver. That's what I believe in, right?
Okay.
Thankfully, in all the companies that I've worked, the product teams have also done that.
Oh, wow.
So we have always under promised and we have over delivered.
Oh, wow.
And that's customer related for us.
Oh, that's great. That's great. What's your basic region or primary region of targeting? Like,
so we are strong in North America.
okay.
We are strong in North America as a brand. Of course, we have a decent client base in India.
Oh,
These are the two regions. And of course, we are looking east and west.
Now, talking more about these campaigns and marketing that you used to do, or you are doing, your team is doing. So, how do you do you come across like ad fraud in this? Like, I'm really sure that you're running paid campaigns, checking those metrics like CPM, CAPRs. So, how do you tackle that, and how do you come across that?
It'll be funny to say both my degree as well as ad frauds are about 10 years old.
Okay.
Right from the first job, I have been having encounters with ad frauds. But things have evolved.
Yeah.
I would break it at the apex as the network-driven frauds. The second is a competitor or the sabotage-led frauds.
Okay.
About 4 to 5 years back, the network-driven frauds were really high, right? So you couldn't trust the platforms. You couldn't trust the networks. You couldn't trust the DSAs.
True.
But today, of course, we have DSAs, networks, and etc. And the companies which can aid in your paid efforts like Google, LinkedIn, etc., which are very dependable.
Yeah.
The worry has shifted away from agency-driven issues to the sabotage-driven issues. I can give you a recent example, right? There is a domain, sabotage, which was domain fraud broadly, not a sabotage, done by one of our. We don't know whether it was a competitor activity or it was somebody who was doing it out of the blue. There was a instance where a misspelled domain, as our company's domain was procured, and results were driven to the landing page. You were spending a good amount of money. There was no change. The best part about digital marketing is it's always easy for you to kind of understand what is going wrong. Because if you don't change your campaigns, if you don't change your budgets, if you don't change your bidding strategy, and everything is remaining constant, then why should things change?
Yes.
Right?
There is always a need.
The world is not going to die tomorrow, right? So if the world is going to die tomorrow, then I understand. But the world is not going to do that. So in that case, what changed? Then we went and kind of did a few bit of experiments on our front, and then we realized, oh my God, this is sabotage happening.
Oh, yes. So, given this was one of the, what was the metric that you saw going Ori for this metric?
We had a massive fall in our impressions. And which had repercussions across the funnel.
Yeah, of course, I'm sure. So, given what's your experience with tackling this kind of incident?
As I told you, I think we are really thankful to the ad networks.
Yeah.
Right. So we immediately reported it to Google.
Okay.
And Google pulled the site down. Right.
Okay.
So that's something which is really encouraging for us. But that was a reactive action. So I could have easily missed 5 demos and 15 form fills during that period. Right? You never know.
Could have been, yes.
So
I got a chargeback for that kind of.
Yes, we see. That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. So we have those things are okay. Those things are okay with the network.
Okay.
But my business is not to kind of fight for the chargeback. Exactly. My business is to get those leads and get the demos done, isn't it?
True. So now, given your experience with tackling ad fraud was kind of easy in terms of a sabotage kind of.
Oh, it was not easy.
Okay. Well, you're saying it went okay.
We worked the elimination method.
Okay.
Right. So we eliminated all our logical causes, and then we tried figuring out is there some other reason.
True.
And that's when we figured it out. It was not easy.
This was a case of sabotage incident. So talking about the network incident, that network kind of malfunction that happens in your segment. What's your incidence with that, and how did you tackle this one?
I was working for one of India's largest payment gateway companies about 4 years back. In one of the instances, what we saw was the impressions were coming in from we had a lot of third parties who run ad campaigns for us.
Correct.
Right? We saw that one of the third parties used to get good amount of impressions, but they never used to materialize into clicks.
Yeah.
Then we realized that the person has intelligence cookie spoofing.
Yes.
He has placed the cookies in random URLs.
Yeah.
And those were directing traffic to us.
Yes.
And that is a useless traffic for us.
Okay.
We did the mistake of paying him per impressions.
Yeah.
Right. So he used to make money with that.
Yeah.
And then when we realized why were demos not happening, even after we working with them for about 8 to 9 months, then we realized the quality was a problem.
Yeah.
See, the problem today is most of these analyses are very reactive. But I don't think so people are having any prognostic data with which they are able to kind of quickly go there and solve the problem.
Yeah. True.
So everything is reactive today.
Yeah. it's like there are a lot of metrics also like people kind of follow, especially digital marketers don't. Sometimes I feel like those are vanity metrics. For example, to get the real demo or real juice out of the campaign, I think one should really focus on the real KPIs. I don't know, for a campaign it could be like lead form instead of focusing on impression thing.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I encourage the digital marketers and the heads of marketing to be very close to the front end. You open Google and just do a research of your top 10, 20, 15 keywords and understand what's happening there.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that's the best check which you can do. Again, that is reactive. But if you're able to spend 15, 20 minutes on that every day, at least you will not be wasting your dollars.
Yeah, true. That's like the first check mark for you. Any digital marketer should have. But now, given that you have like so much of experience, like ad fraud exists. Like you are one of those people who agree like ad fraud. There's some people I've met who doesn't agree. Like, okay, Google is doing fraud. They don't believe on it. I don't know why. That's their thought. But now that you have the incident of the other side, like how it feels to be on the other side when you are being defrauded. So, what's your take on learning from that? Like now, have you incorporated any other tool in your tech stack to take care of that, or is that like doing that random checkup of 20 minutes every day? Is that your habit now?
When things go well, you don't do those checks.
Yeah.
Right. When things don't go well, you do the check.
Yeah.
So a couple of months back, we had the worst month of the year.
Okay.
In terms of our leads, and during that this happened. But again, we are back. So today I'm not doing it. So it should not be this, right? It shouldn't be.
True.
It should
like
be
this way.
It shouldn't be objective driven.
Yeah, true.
It should be a regular process. I'm sure a lot of tools like ClearTrust are kind of building something really fantastic at.
Oh yes.
Across different levels of the funnel, right from impressions to form fills.
Yes.
Yeah, looking forward.
That's been any advice to the fellow marketers in this space? Like, might be your competitors also listening to this one. So, any advice you'd like to give to them for the digital marketing campaigns, or how should they navigate this water?
One maverick response is like, take competition head on. That's the maverick response. Jokes aside, be close to your market, right? Be it product, be it operations, be it engineering. Be close to what you're doing.
Yeah.
The marketeer can be close to the platform. Be close to your platform. Interact with it. See whether things are going good at the platform level and at the front end.
Yeah.
You might be a very good paid marketeer, but if you're having a man-in-the-middle attack, you can't do much about it.
True.
The first point in solving a problem is first identifying the problem and understanding that there is a problem first of all.
True.
Then you then you venture into solving the problem. Identifying patterns, identifying wastages, analysis pattern around wastages, and I think and if you're a good marketeer and you should be taking care of other aspects of the business.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would be really strong in the technical aspects of the tool. Communication and marketing should be given to you.
Yeah.
And in the very process, also please ensure that you remain close to the tool so that you can avoid these spillages.
Yeah.
Because reactive efforts can't bring you those missed form fills and demos.
Well said. Yeah. That's it. And thank you so much for sharing the information that you had with the viewers today. And I really appreciate for taking the time out in your busy schedule and fixing a podcast with us. So thank you so much, Arun, for this podcast. This was it, guys. Gupshup with Kabir, episode 3. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kabir, and then a lot of intriguing questions. I hope I did justice to you.
Oh, yes, a lot more than that.